asked Google, is there such a thing as being too independent? And Google AI said, yes, you can be too independent. This extreme self-reliance is known as hyperindependence and can lead to negative consequences such as burnout, loneliness, and difficulty forming deep relationships because it involves an inability to ask for or accept help. While healthy independence fosters self-sufficiency, hyperindependence stems from a deep-seated distrust of others, often due to past experiences of neglect or trauma, making vulnerability and interdependence feel unsafe or threatening. This is the I'm Uncomfortable podcast, the podcast for people who want to be okay with being uncomfortable. We're your hosts, Vanessa
and Melissa.
Welcome back to the podcast where we love pushing people to be uncomfortable.
Nudge.
Just a little shove in the right direction in order to, of course, be the fullest version of yourself. And as always, we're going to start off by talking through our uncomfortable moments. And Melissa and I actually have a shared one. If you're watching, I am holding up a thong on the screen. Yeah.
We're both holding up underwear on camera.
I just got these. So Melissa and I, ever since we did our episode with Val from Riff Care, the period product company, we have been on kind of this journey through finding good underwear and like trying to put things on our body that make us feel better. Yeah. And something we had talked about with Val was just the material that goes into underwear in general and how it's like not breathable, not good for you. And I know
fosters
that I mentioned
bacteria growth. Ew.
Yes, I know I mentioned in a previous episode about like getting Hoo-Ha underwear, and we're not sponsored by Hoo-Ha, but if you are looking for a, I guess, underwear company that makes really quality underwear, I would recommend. But I was just telling Melissa I was having a hard time with like thongs just in general lately, and I've loved all of Hoo-Ha's underwear so far. I forget what they call this blue lining that they have in it. I think this is I should look it up, I should Google it, but this is like the whole thing, is that they have this material here that helps to not cause bacteria and like odor resistant, sweat resistant. But just, I kind of regret getting the thong because now I'm just kind of used to like the cheeky or like the high rise
brief,
like, bikini, and it's just I'm having such a difficult thong time now.
Thong time. I think what I'm reading just initially from Hoo-Ha is they design thoughtful skin layer garments for bodies that breathe, sweat, move, and live. I think it's their mineral underwear.
It says it on here with soothing zinc oxide.
Oh, okay.
So then it says this product contains pharmaceutically graded zinc oxide. And it's just saying to, if you're unsure,
that helps you feel cool and dry. And it absorbs moisture more efficiently than cotton.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And for me, I think when Vanessa was sharing this before we started recording, I was like, yeah, I think for me specifically, I've been going through a journey of trying to find underwear as well. I've been using Packed for a very long time. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before. I don't have one of those. I mean, I'm currently wearing them right now, but I'm not going to show you that. And my underwear is... my extra pairs of underwear are over there, and I'm not going to go unplug myself and walk over there and get them. But trust me when I say, like, that was also my intention, was to try and find a brand of underwear that was breathable, made me feel good in terms of, like, the way that it fits, the way that it breathes, the way that it, like, what materials it's made out of, as well as how the production process impacts, like, sustainability, like what are their sustainable practices and things like that. So the overall ethos of the company was important to me as well. I will say that Packed is 100% organic cotton, and I think they claim to be biodegradable as well, which is kind of funny because like I've done my like third I think I've been using Pact for definitely more than 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I've had to order more because I have
try
experience.
it. Do they have like a what's it called, like friend referral code?
I don't know. I'll have to double
Look
check.
into it.
Yeah.
I want
But
to try.
they again, I'm just like a really basic girly. I always hated thongs, so I have like 1 or 2 pairs. I think from Pact because I was just like just in case I need it.
I just hate a panty line sometimes.
I know that it's a preference, and I know people do the thongs because of that. They don't want the panty line. For me, I'm just like, whatever. You shouldn't be looking there anyway.
Whatever.
So
don't look at me.
I kind of just go for like the like cheeky or the normal brief cut, which I think is like, similar to these ones. But I suppose like my uncomfortable part of it is that like I've had to order another set of like Packed underwear more often than I feel like I've had to buy like my Victoria's Secret ones that I used to buy back in the day, like in high school. Like I feel like I held on to those ones for so much longer because they're probably made with like so much stuff that's not good for your body that it just stays together. Like basically spandex and nylon and all those things are plastic. It's plastic. So that's why maybe it sticks around for a while. But it's
I threw away a few.
And so I've made this joke of like, okay, Packed being biodegradable, I have to like buy new ones already because
that's funny. I know it says not to tumble dry these, and I don't know if that is the same for the other ones. I've definitely tumble dried them. I can't be. Who do they think I am? Do I have a yard with a line and I'm just like out there hanging up all of my clothes to sun dry? Like, Jesus Christ.
That's so funny because that's exactly what my boyfriend does. He's
oh my God,
eco-friendly. Like it's just funny because he'll be doing my laundry and I'm like, I see my underwear just hanging out and I'm like, oh, okay.
That's really funny. Maybe that's what I should get going in my side yard. It's a catastrophe. We haven't.
Yeah, he sets up a rope line that he hangs everything up. It's like part of his routine, and he gets to hang out and drink his coffee, hang out his clothes. I'm like, wow.
Wait, I kind of love that.
You're like Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, but without the prairie.
Meanwhile, when I'm at home doing laundry, I'm like throwing everything as much as I can into the dryer.
Literally, everything went in. I don't. If you get destroyed, you weren't meant to be here. Like.
If you can't go through the dryer, then why are you here?
Why are you here? But actually, I should just sun dry my clothes. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, but yeah, that's our journey through discomfort, and not at all what we're going to talk about today. So. Yeah.
But I feel like it is a journey that a lot of women particularly take when they're trying to be better with their bodies.
I mean, I don't think Ross is even wearing underwear right now. He's just living.
Living.
Yeah, he just gets to live, and I want to live.
I don't want to live. What's that like?
I just want to rock out with my balls out. Like,
you know what? My partner is very much like, then do it. Free the nip. Free it. Just be free. And I'm like, no.
It's like deeply uncomfortable.
I don't want to feel the air there.
Oh, I can do it when I'm like sleeping. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
Not to live
in the protection of your own home. Yes.
Yeah, and the safety of my bed with my blanket. But not there.
What if a Marilyn Monroe moment happens and you're wearing a skirt and you can't?
No, just I can't do it. Okay. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about being independent, but like too independent. And I asked Google, is there such a thing as being too independent? And Google AI said yes. So the internet did say there is such a thing. Let me actually read you. I felt like it was roasting me. It goes, yes, you can be too independent. This extreme self-reliance is known as hyperindependence and can lead to negative consequences such as burnout, loneliness, and difficulty forming deep relationships because it involves an inability to ask for or accept help. While healthy independence fosters self-sufficiency, hyperindependence stems from a deep-seated distrust of others, often due to past experiences of neglect or trauma, making vulnerability and interdependence feel unsafe or threatening.
Oh, I mean,
He's like,
if it sounded like if it was roasting you, then I think that you may be relating to this in some form or fashion.
I felt seen in not a positive way. So,
I mean, same. Yeah. And I think as you were reading that, I was like, ooh, yikes. Are you talking about me? At least a previous version of me, at least. But, yeah, I think we've talked about how, at least for me, I've struggled with asking for help, or even just the concept of sharing things that I'm going through, whether it's like emotional or even, things like tasks that I have to get done.
Yeah.
And sharing that with people, because I have this fear of burdening other people with my emotional baggage.
Yeah.
And or like this perception that if I can't handle it all, what does that say about me?
Yikes.
Yikes.
Okay, well, so if you are relating to Melissa right now, that might mean that you have hyperindependence. So here, let me just read you a few signs, okay?
You might be diagnosed with hyperindependence.
If you're experiencing refusing to ask for help, difficulty with vulnerability, overachieving and taking on too much, a dislike of perceived quote-unquote needy people, or prioritizing solitary pursuits, you might be suffering from hyperindependence.
But with insert pharmaceutical name here.
With I'm Uncomfortable Podcast new pill, you too can be free of the hyperindependence that plagues you. No, but when I was reading these signs, I was like, check.
Me?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially the last one. I know we've talked about this for me on the podcast. You're better at it than I am. Prioritizing solitary pursuits. And that is described as choosing individual activities over shared experiences and struggling with compromises in relationships. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting, because I think you and I are like the opposite on this. I feel like you are actually better at choosing solitary pursuits, but I, on the other hand, really struggle with that, and instead I would choose shared experiences.
So are you on the other side of, like, if there is an independence scale, and like one side is hyper independence, the middle is balanced independence, and the other side is like codependency?
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. I get so codependent with my coworkers sometimes, but like also
they have
not.
co in the name. It's halfway there already.
Worker, codependent. It goes hand in hand. But the other stuff, I mean, okay, like let's think about this. Do you actually struggle with these? Because I do. So like refusing to ask for help.
Yes,
okay.
For sure. I do.
And the definition of
that's
this would
something
be,
I'm constantly dealing with.
It says that it applies to both personal and professional situations, even when overwhelmed. And I definitely have a hard time asking for help. And I think by the time I do ask for help, like, if I'm coming to you because I need help, I fucking need help. I'm not at the start of needing help. I'm already at the end. I literally had to apologize to some of my coworkers who are like on our network support level on a Friday. I yelled at them. I was on the phone with them because I was asking for help developing like trainings or whatever. They're like, oh, this person can do it, but you're going to have to check what it felt like they were telling me was that I was going to have to check this person's work. And that pushed me over the edge, because in my former job, when I would do presentations and stuff, no one was checking my work. I was just expected to produce a quality product. So I was like, why can't I expect this other person to also produce quality? So then I yelled at them, all three of them on the phone. And I was like, I do not have the time or the capacity to check someone else's work. I just need them to do it and for it to be good. Why is that too much to ask for? Now I said that, but like yelling that, so then I did have to apologize for losing my shit a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's because I do not like asking for help. So when I'm asking, I am at the end of my rope. But see, that is the problem with hyperindependence, because maybe if you ask sooner, you're not at the breaking point yet, and you can compromise on the supports that you're being given.
Okay. Yeah. I think for me, in terms of refusing to ask for help, I've definitely am at a better place in both personal and professional situations for that.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm more so progressed in being okay with asking for help in professional situations. More like I've progressed further than
personal. Fascinating. Why?
Yeah, I just feel like it's that eldest daughter, only daughter syndrome that is still affecting the way I live my life.
Got it. You're in a weird situation too, because like you were the youngest and the only girl, but then you suddenly became the middle child, but like very far.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you could be his mom.
Yeah, so it's like, and I definitely have gotten better, and I know that I've gotten better at confrontation in terms of bringing up these kinds of things that come up where I'm like, like you said, when I'm asking for help, especially in a personal situation, like if I'm planning something for the family or whatever it is, and I'm asking for help from my siblings, I've in the past have just let it go when it doesn't, like I'm like, okay, fine, then I'll just take it back onto my plate. But I want to say I'm proud of myself in the most couple like recent times when I've asked for help, and I haven't received that help that I was expecting. I've circled back and I was like, I'm really disappointed in blah, 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 blah. This is how I feel. This is how it makes me feel when you don't like
follow through.
And I've also asked before. And also, why do I even have to ask
Just
when it's something
help.
that involves the family, you know? Like, why am I always the one that has to XYZ? And both of my brothers, because it was something that I brought up to both of them in our little sibling group chat, they're like, oh, shoot. Mom, oopsie. Like, they felt bad. Because I'm like, it's the same. Like, I lost my shit a little bit because I was like, already asking for help. And then in a situation that I felt like I didn't need to ask for help, it should have just been something that I think should be expected. But again, I've set a precedent. This is on me because I've set this precedent before that Melissa will handle that. It's no problem. I don't need to step in here.
Yeah.
So it's part of the growing pains on that. But it's progressing slowly,
so
surely.
If I were your therapist, what might I ask? I might be like, why do you have to do it? Or I might also ask you, what would happen if you didn't do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. I think so. In some cases, if I didn't do it, nothing huge would happen. Probably, I just kind of make it so important in my head that things need to be done in a certain way in a certain timeline. That I get caught up in that versus chillaxing a little bit about it.
Just relaxing.
Just chillax. It's okay to chillax.
Okay. I ask you this because I have had a similar experience, not with siblings, but with friends, of kind of taking on a lot of planning or just feeling like I had to do it or it wouldn't happen. And I think for me specifically, my biggest fear was that it then wouldn't happen, which would then mean that people don't care about me. And so that, so in order to avoid that potential situation, I would just make sure to do all the things. And all people had to do was like pay and show up type kind of vibe. And I just had to be like,
that, again, that standard.
Yeah,
that
well,
it's
right. And then,
be you.
of course, why would anyone think? They're probably just like, oh yeah, Vanessa likes it. And then to your point, it's like, oh, so like, I wouldn't want help, but I would want help, you know? I would want people to just like do something.
Share the same level of enthusiasm for what you're contributing to.
Like, why aren't you as intense about this as I am? But that's also like,
why aren't you me? Why aren't you?
Right, isn't that so stupid? Like, I say it out loud, I'm like, that's really stupid. Like, of course, they've got their own shit going on. But also now I'm the one in the friend group chat, and I'm literally, they were talking about, for our New Year's trip or whatever, talking about wanting to go, like, on a boat, because we're going to, like, Miami, and they were talking, like, when can we meet to talk about the activities that we're doing? And I was like, I literally can never meet. Just tell me how much it is, and I'll be there. Like, they're like, oh, can we do Monday night, Wednesday night? I'm like, I can't, because by the time I get home, it's, like, 7 p.m., and I just need to eat and then probably do more work, and then maybe I'll watch some TV and go to sleep. have no mental capacity, just literally tell me how much it costs.
Yeah.
And so, and people can do it. People rise to the occasion, right?
Yeah.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's so I over the years, like this is me now, but like it's taken years to get to this place where I can be like, hey, I really want to do this thing. I want to go, but either I need help planning it or I can't even. And someone else needs to go ahead and just step up.
Yeah. I agree. I think that I've experienced similar situations with friends too. And I think with professionally, like in my career, I think I've brought this up before, but I think the reason why I've progressed much faster in this aspect of being willing to ask for help is because I feel like I have less stakes there than I do at home.
Sure.
So I feel more comfortable confronting those things than I would in similar situations at home, if that makes sense. Because I'm my coworkers are like, yes, I see them all the time, but I also realize that this is a different relationship than what I have with my like family and my friends. And I could be a little bit more stern without feeling guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
because
that
this
does
is
make
a
sense.
workplace.
Yes.
You know, I could compartmentalize that. You know what I mean? So
fascinating. It's all. I feel like I'm just the same now in both because I've worked here for so long, and I've worked with some of these people.
And then you've built these
so
like
long.
friendships and relationships that are
literally one of the people I yelled at. He has been my principal since the first day I started working. He's literally known me since he hired me. So it's
he was probably like, oh shit.
Yeah, like, well, yeah. And then when I apologized, he was like, it's okay. We sometimes bring this out in each other. And I was like, yeah. And sorry still, also. Yeah. For yelling. But do you have... Okay, one of the signs was interesting. Or made me laugh, rather. Disliked of perceived needy people. Do you dislike the needy people, Melissa?
Strong preference for self-sufficiency and a resistance to relying on others. Like, I don't actually mind.
Needy
well,
people.
Okay. There's a scale of what I'm willing to tolerate. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, especially for like work-related things, I always approach things from a collaborative standpoint. Like, especially if I'm bringing an idea to the table, but it's like, for example, if I'm bringing an idea to the table and it wouldn't be me that's primarily working on it, I still offer to be like, I'm here to collaborate and provide guidance or ideas or whatever it is. I am open to questions and things like that.
Okay.
And if they do have questions, that's fine. Like, I'm here to help, you know what I mean? But the type of neediness, because that doesn't qualify as neediness to me. That's me approaching it as like we're all working together towards the same goal. Okay. Needy to me is someone that I've provided me as a resource to, given them time and space to ask questions, to deal with it. And we've gone through examples maybe of like scenarios where this would happen. Yeah. And then they still come back and they're like, I don't know what to do. Can you help me with this? So it's like, I've given you everything to thrive.
What more could you possibly want from me?
What else do you want from me? That's the type of neediness, at least in the workplace, that I'm like, I need you to come into this meeting with a little more than that. You know, I need you to come in here having read all the things that I gave you, having done your own research, having a little bit more context, than coming in being like, I don't know what to do. Can you help me? Or can you resend me this thing? No. Look in your inbox, like from Melissa. Like, the attachment is there. Like, that's the kind of neediness that I do not.
Can't do it.
Appreciate. Can't deal with it. You're wasting my time.
Okay, so there's a couple of theories about like how people even become hyper independent, and I was reading a few different articles, and one of them was just, of course, trauma and childhood trauma. So one of the things was, if you as a child had to take care of yourself or your siblings, then in that situation it would have been beneficial for you to be able to figure things out on your own. But later in life, those same patterns then kind of play out in romantic relationships or friendships. And then it's like, it just isn't as a negative then interaction because you're too independent. And, you know, you have to rely on other people in relationships, period. So that's hard.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we've asked our audience on Instagram via poll and that have you ever felt like being too independent has gotten in the way of your relationships? And 60% of people said sometimes, depends on the situation. 20% of people said definitely all the time. And then 20% of people said not really. I'm balanced, with a little emoji that's like that. But
love that
to your point, in relationships, if you're the latchkey kid that was like, oh, your parents were both working and you had to figure out how to do things on your own. When it comes to relationships or especially like romantic relationships or friendships, it relies on connecting with each other, compromise, like constantly working together to build something together. So when you're hyper independent, it can be a negative thing because it shows that you're unwilling to work with this person, to compromise with this person. Yeah. But it's just the way that it's just who you had to grow up. And it's not your fault, but also it is your fault. It is your like a responsibility to deal with that kind of trauma.
I think that's the way to put it. It's your responsibility to deal with your trauma.
It's not your fault that it happened to you, but it is your responsibility to work through it. Okay, that part
though, I think people kind of just are like, well, sorry, this happened to me. And I'm like, okay, and what? Is that too harsh? Just like... No, I like... And what are you doing?
It's like the Ariana Grande song where she goes, yes, and, or something like that. I forget. She literally says that. It's just like, yes and.
Like, speaking of songs, I did ask the internet to provide me with a list of, what's it called? Independence songs. And there's I was like, what are some bangers about being independent? So it gave me Independent Woman Part 1, Destiny's Child, Miss Independent, Kelly Clarkson, classic. Oh my gosh, Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. Ain't Got No, I Got Life. I Am Woman, Confident by Demi Lovato. Like, there are so many. There's literally so many songs.
That people used to actually like sing to me, not sing to me, but like as like a joke, is like Miss Independent by Neo. Miss Independent.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like
Oh my god, wait, I love that song.
Yeah, I like that song too, but it was because I was always trying to do things on my own, especially like when in high school specifically, when people were doing things like have crushes and like getting together with people in the class. There's this one person that was like, look at Miss Independent, she doesn't need anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I was like not focused on that. That was not my focus in high school.
Actually, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, I'm good. And so he would jokingly sing that song because he's like, oh, she doesn't need anybody, you know what I mean? But that's why I like her, you know what I mean? So
our favorite, Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield is on this list. Love that one.
Yeah.
Personal Anthem, Forever.
That is funny.
I imagine myself in a car driving down PCH, you know, just living my best rich life. No, but it's a thing for a lot of people, and I think it, just like with anything, it's moderation, because the downsides of hyper independence are burnout and stress, which I know the two of us have very much experienced.
Loneliness.
That would make me sad, because it says isolation occurs because of the struggle to connect, be vulnerable, and form deep, trusting relationships. And I think for me, it's not that I can't form deep relationships. I think I love that all my relationships are so strong and go way back. But I think it's just like when you don't ask for help, you feel like you're alone in the struggle. And then that's what felt that, breeds the loneliness. Yeah.
And like, I going back to some of the other topics that we've discussed here, you know, in our previous episode, how to use anxiety to thrive. I think the part of like one of the steps to being able to use anxiety to thrive is sharing your struggles with other people. Yeah. And that can include asking for help, sharing the situation that you're in or circumstances that you're in. And when you don't do that, as coming from personal experience, especially like my specific example that comes to mind is going through a breakup, on choosing to do it on my own when I could have leaned on a lot of my friends and loved ones more.
Yes.
I would think, like, thinking retrospectively
In retrospect,
about it.
yeah.
And how alone that made me feel choosing to do it on my own, and how that can not damage relationships or friendships per se, but like add a kind of roadblock or obstacle to connection, because what is a friendship if not sharing each other's struggles, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I can definitely relate to that. Like, I don't consider myself a lonely person, but I've definitely put myself in situations where I felt lonely because I felt like the act of sharing the struggles that I was going through was a burden, or would be. I was assuming that it was a burden.
And in reality, people feel honored to help you through your struggle.
Yeah.
They feel honored that you are trusting them to be someone to go to. Now, I do think you can go to them too much. I did have that experience. I'm like, okay, maybe I gotta divide the...
Again, everything's about balance, but it's like you wouldn't even know that if there was a too much if you never even tried, you know?
That is true. That is true. Well, as always, we always talk about how to be okay with it. And I think for our hyper-independent folks out there, there are some ways to move forward.
I like this list. I just read ahead.
For you. Well, the first thing on the list is challenge the belief. Recognize that accepting help is a sign of strength and a fundamental aspect of human connection, which is what you were saying.
Yeah, it's part of building relationships with people. It's like everyone's going through something, and I think we're social beings. We need that connection. So yeah,
I also think it doesn't have to be in times of struggle. Like, you can accept help. You know what I mean? Accept help in a small thing. Like, come help me set up for this event. Like, or
I love that.
Give someone a small task where it's not that big of a deal if they fuck it up, right? Because I think that's part of it too. Listen, it is.
I'm laughing because it's like, that is very like us to be like, okay, I'm gonna start accepting help, but I'm gonna do it incrementally because I still want to be in control.
Start small. For me, like, literally those personalities we take at work, trust was my lowest strength of all. There were like many of the things, and trust was at the very bottom. But once I trust you, I really trust you forever. So. But it's earned. So it's like, okay,
earned,
small things. Yes. Okay, the next one, of course, we love this one, is seek therapy. We don't even have to go into that one. Just talk to somebody about it.
Talk to somebody.
This one is a nice one. This is this ties back to Melissa telling me, like, I'm not okay right now, but I will be. It says, practice self-compassion. Be patient and kind to yourself as you learn to trust others and build new patterns of connection.
Ooh. Yeah. As in my new job, I'm experiencing this where I'm like, I need to be patient and kind to myself as I'm trying to learn these new people, these new dynamics. It's difficult sometimes because I don't want to feel sus, but I feel sus.
But the thing is, it says build new patterns. Like, that's the whole thing. Yeah. It's going to take time for you to build a new pattern, period. So just just build it slowly. Okay. And last but not least, see, Melissa, cultivate trust gradually. Start by trusting small things with the right people and build from there.
Yeah.
You do, though, have to be okay with if they mess it up. You just got to accept. You can't get mad. Like, I mean, you can get mad, but...
What are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
You got to be okay with it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that is part of letting go of it. Letting go of the control. Because I think I have to constantly remind myself that it doesn't need to be done the way that I imagine it in my head. There are so many different ways things can get done.
Yeah.
People work differently, have different work styles.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I may not fully understand these work styles all the time. Problem-solving skills all the time. But if I'm going to build trust, I need to let them go through that process. And if it doesn't come back the way that I fully envisioned it, it's probably gonna be okay.
Honestly, truly, you're probably gonna be fine. Relax.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
did anybody die though? You know what I
No.
mean?
Usually no.
Usually no. In our line of work, usually no.
Usually no. And there it is. Okay, we'll start small. We're starting small with you, and if we can learn to do it, you can learn to do it too.
If these Joe schmoes can learn how to do it, we can. You can.
You can too. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we do need your help though. So Melissa and I do have an ask for you if you're listening. If you haven't already, headed over to our merch.
Yes.
And taking a little peeksy poo. You might even be thinking about buying gifts. You know,
Oh, yeah.
now
We're
as it
getting
starts to
into
get
fall. The
colder.
seasons are changing.
Yes, you
may
might want to
a
stock
little-
up.
Yeah, you might want a little I'm uncomfortable sweater for yourself
Yeah,
to just let everyone know ahead of time. You're
Yeah.
a little uncomfortable.
just a cute bag to take to the farmer's market or trick or treating, or
cute. That's cute.
you know, maybe a cute little hat to keep your head warm.
Yeah.
Just there's so many options on our site. So
And
head over there.
currently, it is all 11% off in
Yeah.
celebration of season 11. So
Yes.
go on over. If you're already following us on Instagram, it's all already there for you. You just got to
all
click. The link in the bio will bring you to where you need to go. Happy
Yay.
shopping, and we will see you next week. Want more of the I'm Uncomfortable podcast? Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at imuncomfortable.podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Facebook group, the I'm Uncomfortable Club, to gain early access to our episodes and exclusive content. We're available wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.